We are taking you live to Brisbane now, where a joint AUSMIN press conference is being held.
Has been conducted with heavy hearts given the news that we woke up to this morning. I know I speak on behalf of all four of us when I say that our thoughts and prayers are very much with the missing aircrew and their families. As we've been meeting today and as we speak to you in this moment, Australian and US Defence Force personnel are working closely together in the search and rescue. Exercise Talisman Sabre involves a number of countries, but it is fundamentally a bilateral exercise between Australia and the United States. It's jointly planned by our two countries and jointly run by our two countries. It is so important for both of our defence forces. It's serious, it is dangerous, and it does carry risk. And as we have contemplated that during the course of our deliberations today, we are reminded that as our Defence Force personnel have been side by side today, they have in fact been side by side with each other for more than a century, during which Australians and Americans have fought together in every conflict during that time. The alliance is built upon that. It's built upon the shared values which underpin that. And all four of us in our conversations today feel the legacy of that history. When we met in Washington last December, we agreed on a number of initiatives and measures, and the very first observation that we all made today was that what we agreed last December, since then we have done. We have put into practice. And today we have had a very fruitful and rich conversation about the state of the alliance, about the state of the world in which we are both operating, its complexity, its volatility, its threat. And as we engage in that world together, all of us have felt that the alliance has never been in better shape than it is right now. We've made important steps forward in respect of American force posture initiatives in Australia, building on what currently exists. There is a commitment to increase American force posture in respect of our northern bases, in respect of our maritime patrols and our reconnaissance aircraft. Further force posture initiatives involving US Army watercraft, and in respect of logistics and stores which have been very central to Exercise Talisman Sabre. We spoke about the optimal pathway by which Australia will acquire a nuclear-powered submarine capability, which we announced in March of this year, and this is our first meeting since then. And that continues apace, and continues as well in terms of increased force posture of America within Australia. We will be seeing an increased tempo of visits from American nuclear-powered submarines to our waters as we look towards the establishment of a US submarine rotation at HMAS Sterling later in this decade. And importantly, in terms of force posture initiatives, we agreed that space cooperation would now form a key part of what we do in our military and defence cooperation, and this is a critical step forward. We are really pleased with the steps that we are taking in respect of establishing a guided weapons and explosive ordnance enterprise in this country. In doing so in a way where we hope to see manufacturing of missiles commence in Australia in 2 years' time as part of a collective industrial base between our two countries. And this represents a very, very significant step forward in our relationship and in the relationship of our defence industry. We are very grateful to the efforts which have been undertaken by the Biden administration in respect of defence export control legislation and creating a more seamless defence industrial base between our countries. We are enormously grateful of the presence of Lloyd and Tony in Australia today. I think Penny and I both feel that as we do these meetings with countries across the world, we can stand here hand on heart and say that Australia at this moment has no better friend than America, and that the relationship between the four of us is one of friendship and trust, which embodies the relationship between our two countries and gives us an enormous sense of purpose about how we take forward the alliance in a very complex world.